Friday, 25th of April, 2025 at 10:55 a.m. in Snohomish, Washington, United States of America. Welcome once again to our cosmic journey. It is your dev and design podcast featuring two headless horsemen of the UI apocalypse making the world's best astrology software. I am your designer, Jake. He is your engineer, Trey. Hello, Trey.
Hello, Jake. I thought you were going to say headless engineer.
Headless engineer. You're headless engineer.
Oh, you could have also said you're backlit engineer and designer.
Well, we're in the cosmic offices.
We're in the cosmic offices.
Also known as the basement of your parents' house.
You didn't have to say that.
Well, I mean,
you can keep the mystique up.
I think everyone figured out when we're in Snohomish, Washington, we're in the basement of your parents' house.
You know what's great about this place?
What's that?
It costs nothing.
It does. It's got the right rent.
It's got the right rent.
That is the correct thing. Today's episode is called No Head, No Problem. We have a lot of UI to show you, mostly because we had a wonderful discovery from our friends at Tailwind of a set of libraries, which we'll talk about later. We have a cosmic console to show you, which is hugely important because that thing is such a hard piece of UI to actually implement. A location picture, a dialog box, a speed graph styling, all of that good stuff. But before we get to any of that, of course, we must start with the check-in question. Are you ready? You don't even know what it is. Here it comes.
I don't.
Mr. Henry, if you could go fully headless in any area of your life, meaning no central authority, no control freak stuff at all, what would it be? If you could go fully headless in any area of your life with no central authority, no control freak stuff, what would it be?
I mean, my immediate answer right now is entirely based on the experience of the last week, which is Jake and I futzing around with problematic integrated developer environments, IDEs. And so, it would just be really nice if there was just some kind of headless IDE that you could just slap whatever skin on top of that you wanted, but where developers of plugins, for example, just only had one thing to target. So we didn't have plugins written for NeoVim and plugins written for Visual Studio Code and plugins written for Nova and plugins written for, it's such a waste. There we go. IDE.
Such a waste. IDEs. What a technical answer. I was hoping
technical.
For something that was more either ethereal or spiritual, but you went incredibly technical because you are so mad about IDEs. You are mean mad about it.
But IDEs. You know what? My IDE rage is completely mollified by my new favorite thing in the entire universe, which is this keyboard.
Without disrupting anything, can you show us a little bit more about what the features of the keyboard are?
Oh, it's the perfect keyboard. Honestly,
tell us, show us with your eyes. Show us with your eyes.
Well, it's kind of hard. Keyboards are so tactile, it's you can't really.
But what happens when you press a key?
Oh, I'm not in one of those modes right now. But it does have modes where it lights up the. I actually was kind of distracted by it because last night when it was super bright, the keyboard was super bright in a kind of dark room. It was lighting up every time I was hitting a key, and I was like, "Ooh, this is too much. It's too beautiful. I can't look away.
It's too much beauty."
Yeah, I was like a moth to the flame.
Understood.
As Icarus flew too close to the beautiful keyboard sun.
Well, good answer. I'm glad that we got your keyboard in because it's very important to the viewer to understand what your emotional state is like. Trey is very much the type of person that would need keyboards will either make him spiral into nothingness or set him into ecstasy. Something like that.
As you pointed out, I've actually ruined business relationships because of keyboards.
Yes. You've ruined personal relationships over keyboards.
Wait, is that true?
Yes. I mean, I feel bad for Bob for what you said.
He was never going to be a personal relationship,
He was actually Trey's first husband, as it turns out.
No.
And they were just fine with spirituality, with religion, with kids,
we connected
with
on
money,
every
and
topic.
Then all of a sudden, Bob had to bring up keyboards and
that was it.
Divorce. For me, thanks for asking. For me, the parts of my life that I would like to be headless, which is no central authority, no futzing, no mutzing, just make it happen, is the intake of food, and as a bonus, the the output of exercise. I would love, I mean, I have it pretty much automated now, but there is some amount of central control I have to go into of how many grams did I eat? Did I put in the thing? And it would just be great if something, whether it be my brain, whether it be a service, says like, here are here's your food, here is this. I guess there are services that do this for you, but
yeah, like a personal chef.
like a personal chef, but like even personal
I don't think Cosmic's income is going to allow us to hire a personal chef yet.
But much like
we're in the basement of my parents' house.
I understand that. Much like a financial expert, you would even need to kind of keep track yourself on these things, because like no one's going to care about this as much as you. And I wish that there was some thing that could turn this into a headless thing.
Good answer.
Good answers, everyone.
Good answers.
Let's talk a little bit about what had happened this week. So our friends at Tailwind made this thing called HeadlessUI, which we did not discover until we were looking at certain componentry that was in this other thing called Tailwind Plus. Anyways, HeadlessUI are completely unstyled, fully accessible UI components designed to integrate beautifully with Tailwind CSS, which we use and which we love. And so all of this was great. And Trade said, essentially to me, go figure out what we can do with this stuff, this Tailwind UI, Headless UI stuff, in order to make certain UI things go. Like if someone else has already done the work, why are we going to do it again? And I took that very seriously.
Yeah, you met that brief.
I met that brief, and we're going to show you all of the ways in which I met that brief. Let's start, first of all, with the Cosmic console. And while you get that pulled up, Mr. Henry,
yes,
I'm also going to show you. So what you see here is the very early concepts of the Cosmic console. The colors have changed, the styling has changed, but there are certain things on here that are important that we never had in the Cosmic console. The first thing that you will see is the keys on the right-hand side of the screen, whether you're in dark mode or in light mode, show up looking like a keyboard with this type of drop shadow, this level of elevation and all that good stuff. The second thing you will notice is that certain elements of the Cosmic console show up as checkboxes. They are things that you can enable or disable. So in this example here, you see show houses. If you were to hit Shift H, it would either show or hide houses, but also you can see that there's a checkbox there in order to change that even with the keyboard, with the Cosmic console. We had not had that stuff, but we now have the wiring, or I would say the UI, not the wiring, the UI for that today. And we're going to go to Mr. Henry's screen. We're going to take a little bit of a look at that. Can you go to the Cosmic console?
Yeah. I'll do this one.
Nice. So there she is, the Cosmic console. You will see that there is not only the commands at the bottom, but also there's this thing that says recent natives up there. If I were to go to your screen solo.
Yep. Uh-oh, we missed a color.
Uh-oh, we missed a color. This is what happens when you move too quickly.
Yeah.
So these are not supposed to be in black. They're supposed to be in white.
Yeah.
I think I actually just took this out because I thought that this was a mistake, and I now have to put that back in. Can you go to Stellar Light and see if it's also messed up? I bet you it is. Yep. Yeah, I missed that. That's supposed to be opposite. Okay, great. But what you'll see is the recent natives. If you're on a page like the natives page or something else that has things that you had searched for, the idea here is that you can do those searches, or you could go to those pages and we would show you a recent list of those things. If you don't want that on there, if you turn off has recents in that bottom panel, then that will go away. There you go. Boop. Otherwise, you have the thing that we had showed you here. So there is not only the commands, they highlight, they've got that kind of elevated key sequence in there, and you can click that to actually check the box. And then if you check the box and then move off of it, oh, look how pretty. And then you can uncheck the box and move off of it. Ooh, and it works in light mode. So if you go to Stellar Light, Also looks pretty good.
That looks so good.
Oh, and then the other thing that we had never showed that was never built into the old Cosmic Console that we have here is what's called the two-step tango. So there are certain things, such as change house system, that needs to ask you a second question. What house system do you want to change to? So if you click change house system, look at that. Now you get the two-step tango. And I also see that the then also doesn't highlight properly there. The idea here also is that you would type H then P in order to do that. So that would be, these are all placeholder keyboard sequences. But the idea here is that not only can you have multiple keys that you can hit, but you can also say in the Cosmic Console, it's a two-step sequence and all of that stuff. Yeah. And I think even if you type in there, I think it will work. So if you start typing in, yeah, there it is. And then if you go to Placidus, nothing happens. Yes.
Can I get out of this mode with escape?
Nope. Well, I mean, yes, but you have to now refresh that page. Voila. That would be the Cosmic Console. Anything that you wanted to show off for it?
No, just to say that it looks really good. It looks so much better than what was originally designed. You didn't mention it this time, and I know that we mentioned it before, but the Cosmic Console was one of the first things we ever designed for Cosmic.
It is, I think, the absolute first thing that I ever designed for Cosmic, which is the wrong way to start. That's not what you're supposed to do.
But I think having gone through that and then ending up where we are now, I think it didn't hurt, right? Because it allowed us to have a general sense for what that was going to feel like and what we wanted it to look like. And so then once we got to this point, it was kind of easier to just do the implementation because we already kind of knew what it should be. Oh, I was looking the wrong direction. Look, now I'm looking at you.
You can look wherever you would like.
You're this plant right here.
I am that plant over there. So Mr. Henry is literally there, but I have to point
and Jake is there
away. It's very strange. So we're looking at my first designs of this stuff here. And what you can see is not only the two-step thing, but there's also this little guy here in the upper corner. I said upper corner. The upper part where it's a small version of the ring card. That hasn't been done yet.
Wait, is that how Virginia Woolf's last name is spelled?
Yes, it is.
Two O's? Oh,
look at you. Not only is this a good dev and design podcast, but also instructive. That is how Virginia Woolf's
last name is spelled.
She was born on the 25th of January, 1882. She also has a feral chart. Feel free to look at that up in your own time. She is feral.
Interesting.
Let's go to the next thing, which would be the location picker. So we have this idea that you can have locations. You can find them not only by name, but also by Latin long. This is the only way. Right now, it's only wired up to be done by name. And you will see right now on Trey's screen how this all works. So you can delete all those things. It will show you perhaps a list. I don't know what it's going to show you by default. Look at those nice little highlight states. You start doing type ahead, it will start to find the thing. Hey, and you hit the enter key and it will persist. There it is. It's New York. It's also done in light mode as well.
Oh, that's interesting. There's an X here that's missing.
Oh, I didn't want the X there.
Oh, but it was there in light.
Oh yeah, there's an X there. Yeah, I didn't mean it for it to be there. I wanted that to not be there.
Oh, okay.
But that's fine. And there's in light mode, but also it's in simple light and simple dark. We didn't show that as well. It actually looks pretty good simply as well.
So here, let's get rid of this, and then you'd see these don't have that sort of subtle gradient on the select and whatever. So like if I go to stellar light,
you can always see that there's shadows and gradients and all that stuff. That's the deal.
Yeah.
Basically, simple takes away all of the shadows, all the gradients. It doesn't take away all of the elevation. It takes away a lot of it.
Yeah. Also, the are the rounded corners different on that?
Maybe. We're finding bugs as we use it. That's kind of also why we do.
You're seeing it live, folks.
You're seeing it live. Trey and I are finally inspecting it for real and interrogating it for real.
Look at that scroll too.
We're not looking at your screen, but we can look at it in a second. Hold on. I just have to see where we're going to go next. Okay, great. Look at that scroll, everyone.
Yeah, really nice.
Love it.
Looks great.
Let us now go to the dialog box. Here is the button that you would use to open the dialog here in Storybook. Mr. Henry, go for it. Hey, look at that. You can also turn different buttons on or off here. So you can, instead of wanting the cancel button, so turn off cancel. So at the bottom has cancel there. There you go. You can now do has destroy. So
Very nice.
delete, all that. Keen Eye viewers will see that now we have a new button style, which is the gray button, which also looks super amazing.
Yeah.
Love
and
that.
You might be thinking, but won't that conflict with the disabled button? And the answer is no. They look great together,
and
actually.
We showed last week what that all looks like, but you can go to the button page. I put all the buttons all the way up, so you can take a look at it. You can see that there are disabled states.
Why? Oh, these disabled states are broken too.
No, they shouldn't. They should not have hovers.
No, I know, but this background isn't correct, is it?
I mean, it's hard to tell because the page is so...
Let's try Stellar Dark. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
So in Simple Dark, I feel like that background is way too light.
Okay. Noted. Moving on.
That's the way that
I tell Trey that I'm not interested in his feedback. We can't tell anyways because, as you'll notice, the background is completely broken, and someone else did that.
Not pointing any fingers.
We don't point any fingers. Who did that? Who can say? Who can say? We're not at liberty to talk about that.
Ooh, here we are in Stellar Light.
Oh yeah, I will say that I think the Stellar Light buttons, they're okay. Now that I'm here, I'm like, they're a little crunchy. Like they don't, they're not exactly right. Here, I'll go to this so we can zoom in on it. Like, it feels almost there, but it doesn't feel totally there. Anyways, I'm gonna do a little bit of revision work on this to make this look a little bit less crunchy, as we would say.
Also, if you click off of it, and the other thing is that
the escape key works also. So you hit escape, it'll also work.
The one of the things that's really nice about this headless UI library as well is that, as Jake pointed out, when on that first marketing screen, it is fully accessible. All of these components are fully accessible. So they have ARIA tags, they work with screen readers. And while I don't think Cosmic is going to work well for visually impaired people initially, because we don't yet, because we're just going to start with the kind of traditional chart, but we do have ideas of how to basically handle a list of placements, which is what a chart is, and to basically have that as something that is screen readable, so that you could have a slightly more accessible astrology.
Yeah, I think that astrology, one of the goals that we had was that astrology is going to be for everyone, everywhere. Hashtag astrology on the bus. And so we will do that. Like, that will be part of it. The headless UI, like Trey said, gives you part of that. We need to do the rest of that work for the things that are not headless UI to make that work. The last thing is around the speed graph that Trey had showed off. Now we're going to show the styling for the speed graph. You can let us know whether or not you like it or not. I like it. It's still a lerp, right? Which means that you go all the way from this blue to this purple when you are going direct. You go all the way from a red to a deeper red when you go to the left-hand side. The thing is that I wanted this thing to look stellar when you are in stellar light or stellar dark. That's why now it has a shadow, or it's a radial gradient that is supposed to give some dimensionality to make it look like a planet or a point. So it looks kind of, to me, a little bit like a thumbtack that you've put into a board, which I love. And I'm the designer. So if you hate it, you just let me know. But if you change it now to simple dark, which won't change the background, but that's okay, you'll notice that it flattens everything out. So that's how it used to be. It even flattens out the dimensionality that's in the line. So watch the line as well. If you can go to, I think you can see that. I mean, stellar dark.
Yeah, there you go. You can really see the dimensionality.
Here, let's do it here. Can you go from stellar light to simple light? It's like back and forth 2 times. Yeah. So you can see the dimensionality, even the line, like the track has dimensionality as well. Yeah. And then in dark, I think it's not as obvious in dark as it is in light. In simple dark versus, it's a little bit. once you go back and forth, you're like, oh yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
But Trey didn't even notice it because that's it's that subtle, you know. But it's a subtle, this is the part about UI that I really enjoy, like the fiddliness of this stuff. Like you can really make something have personality with such little amounts of changes that you can make to something. Like all of a sudden now this looks like a pin within a track or something like that. Like it almost feels like you can touch it. I love that.
Yeah, I personally love that you're able to just go in and start hacking away on this stuff.
Oh yeah.
And even though there's been a little bit of back and forth or cleanup work or whatever that needs to happen with that, the parallel work has been absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's been a blast to finally contribute in a meaningful way. And I told Trey that I was very grateful and thankful. And so therefore I'm very grateful and thankful to the good people at React for making React, and to JS, whatever JSX is. What is that?
That's
Next?
React. Yeah. That's yeah.
Yeah. Next.js, great. Tailwind, love it. HeadlessUI.
Except we're not using Next.js.
We're not using Next.js, so I don't give my.
but those folks are great too.
No, I've retracted my thanks. Thank you. My gratitude has been retracted. What should the good viewer do with their day here in Taurus, Mr. Henry?
Find your keyboard, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be a keyboard. It could be anything. Maybe
look, you can even get this boring old thing, like just like psychically, like find a good keyboard. Sometimes it's gotta be all lit up and sparkly. Sometimes it can just be like a normal old keyboard. Yeah, cool. Thank you very much for watching this week. We love you very much. We appreciate you coming every single week. We hope you have a lovely weekend wherever day you're watching this video. Take care. We will see you again next week. Goodbye.
Bye.